Hi guys, how's everyone doing on this wonderful Sunday? I am still on like the Attack on Titan high and I need to like do something chill. So this is like doing something chill. um yeah, Attack on Titan is a wild ride. Um and it's not going to get any less wild. That's for darn sure. I don't know if this is actually the thing I'm going to draw today, but it's something I sketched a few weeks ago actually and never got around to finishing. It's pretty ambitious to draw this on Photoshop because if you weren't around last time, I am just like learning how Photoshop works, and I usually use Procreate on my iPad, and so getting used to my Wacom tablet again is weird. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to fully function with this specific tool here, but you know, we can always try it and see what happens. Yeah, no, I'll take just a second to talk about Attack on Titan in a non-spoilery way. Basically, I mean, it's just what Attack on Titan always is. It's like you don't know what's going on or what's happening, and everything will always be crazy, and that's it. That's the whole show is guess what? This thing is now a thing, and we've just totally blown your mind. That's it. That's the entirety of Attack on Titan in a nutshell. And I always forget where the tools are in Photoshop. So that will do, I suppose. And of course, yeah, Nathan, I promise I won't tell spoilers, but like seriously, guys, Attack on Titan is so crazy. I can't, especially this episode, it really picked up. It was like a little laggy there for a little bit, and now I'm like, oh no, everything is terrible. Everything is, yeah, just good luck to everyone who hasn't seen it yet. But I catch up on all of my anime over the weekend, and one of which is Skate the Infinity, which is the joy and perfection that you know, can't be found in Attack on Titan. And it's officially, Skate the Infinity is officially super gay, and I love it. Yeah, Nathan, if you want to get me some real streaming setup, please just let me know, because I literally know nothing about streaming, and also I know my camera / audio quality is to be desired. Yeah. But you know, you know, my creativity motto is, you know, just do what you can with what you have, and that's what I'm doing. So, but seriously, let me know how that even works, because I don't know how anything like that works. Yep. That's just how it is. Okay. Also, I only have one monitor, so I'm changing the Photoshop thing a little bit so I can see the comments and Photoshop at the same time. Okay, let's see. Maybe, there we go. That'll work. Now I can see the comments and see Photoshop on this tiny little screen. Okay. I am going, well, let's see. I can attempt to draw this. This is Longa from Skate the Infinity because he's the best. And we'll see if I can actually draw him with my Wacom tablet. It'll be rough, but that's just life. And yeah, let's go back to Skate the Infinity because it's perfect in every way. And again, no spoilers. But it's just so much fun and happiness and good times. And well, not necessarily, I mean, things are happening and it's dramatic and stuff, but like, it's just so heartwarming and good. And I love all the characters so much. And I'm consistently very pleased with this show. And I love how, you know, Reki and Longa at first glance seem like your typical anime duo, anime rivals, you know, the excited, passionate, crazy one, and then the cool, collected, like analytical one, but they're not at all. Because Longa, although he's like the quote unquote cool kid, he is more reckless than Reki in so many ways. And Reki's the one always telling Longa to like calm down. And I love the dynamic too that they're exploring right now about how Longa is just naturally very gifted at something, and Reki has to like, you know, reconcile that because he's been working so hard on this stuff his whole life, and Longa is picking it up in like an instant. And that's hard. Like, we've all been in those situations because usually when you're friends with people, they enjoy similar things. Or even if you don't, and you're just like, you know, your friends do better at you, whatever sport or whatever activity you like to do. And then it's like, well, that's sucks. Reki or Reki. It's Reki, but I think it's pronounced Reki, but it definitely is Reki with a W because he for sure, I mean, they bail a lot. It's skateboarding. So of course they're going to fall quite a bit. And they're just getting into a tournament arc, and I'm like, this is it. This is peak anime. Tournament arc, skateboarding tournament arc. My goodness, it's perfect. And I'm sure next, yeah, no spoilers. Never mind. I can't talk about spoilers. But I love these characters. These kids are hilarious and crazy and wonderful. And yeah, that's it. Oh man, I can't remember what all these, yeah, there we go. I have to find where all the brushes are because I don't know in this program. But yeah, so you're a little bit of an atypical, you know, atypical anime rival pair. And Reki is the one with some sense, even though he is the more, you know, outgoing one. So, oh man. And there was, of course, probably one of my favorite episodes of the whole season so far. It was literally like they had like a hot springs episode because it's anime. I mean, this anime is so anime. It's great. And it was kind of like before this current arc started getting serious. It was kind of like a break between these two arcs. And I was just like, yes, it's like pinnacle for all the characters. And that's the great thing about the show too, is like, there are just so many phenomenal characters to love and adore. My only big qualm with Skate the Infinity is that there are no consistent female characters that are skateboarders. Yeah, that's frustrating. There's only one female character kind of in it consistently at all besides their mothers, and that female character is an antagonist. So it's just like, cool, guys. And they like skate on this like underground, skateboarding place, but and there are girls there. They're just like oogling and ogling over all the guys. So whatever. That would be one thing that make this show 10 times better. But that's how it goes, I suppose. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how it changes from here. Wait, they have moms? Is it even an anime? I know. It's like RIP all anime moms, because no one can ever just have living, happy, good anime moms. And it makes me sad. But no, both Reki and Manga have very supportive, very charming mothers. Neither of their dads seem to be super in the picture, which, is not surprising. For Manga, it's much more of a plot point than for Reki, at least as of now. Who knows? Because, well, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but Langa's dad taught him to skateboard, which is why he's so good at snowboard, which is why he's so good at skateboarding. Like, as if that is actually how skateboarding works. It's not. But for this anime, I will suspend my disbelief that Manga is just special and just, can do it all. Yeah, you can't be a mom in an anime superhero story. That's not allowed, because they've got to give everyone trauma and get all the moms out of the picture. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, but this last episode, the moms were really top tier, honestly. They're just great. I'm just like, when I talk and draw at the same time, I'm like, this is going to take forever, but oh well. I hope that I'll get better at talking and also drawing at the same time. Again, this is chill and I probably won't even finish this, but also Reki's just going through some stuff right now and I just want to give him a big ol' hug. So does Manga, let's be real. So I'll let Manga give him a hug next episode. All right, so what else did I watch today? I'm watching following so many anime right now. Awesome. What's it called? Kimono Jihen. Guys, speaking of moms in anime, Kimono Jihen, everyone's like, it's just these kids that all have supernatural powers or whatever. They're all looking for their moms and their parents, basically. And they're currently in an arc where one of the kids is finding out all about his mom and like all this stuff. And it's very typical anime, but and it really isn't anything shocking or surprising. I can't even tell if I really love it, but I watch it because it's on and it's cute enough and I want to see where it goes. Oh, slime, reincarnated as a slime. Oh, we'll definitely talk about Jujutsu Kaisen here in a second. Okay, yeah, okay. And also Ascendance of a Bookworm. Congratulations. Ascendance of a Bookworm is one of my favorite anime of all time. I say that about every anime, but I love Ascendance of a Bookworm. And second season really picks up because she's not stuck in her house the whole season. Yeah. Reincarnated as a slime, I've watched like a couple episodes of, and I couldn't get into it. Maybe I just need to try again, but I wasn't. I mean, I've seen so many isekai that I'm just like, well, another isekai. That's pretty standard. But hey, I know it's really popular. A lot of people like it. Yeah. Now I just want to talk about Ascendance of a Bookworm and how wonderful it is. It's just like, I love how Ascendance of a Bookworm is an isekai that really takes things slowly and really just like wrestles with the idea of that, like, this person has been reincarnated into the life and body of another person. Like, they have to reconcile with the fact that this other person that she used to be is gone. And like, that's a really, really interesting like struggle and conflict, in a way, that internal conflict and external conflict that no other isekai that I've seen has done. And like, I just love that. I love that so much. And I love that because it's slow, we really get to see how things are going, like, in her point of view. Like, she has to build up her knowledge just as we do. And man, I love how I don't know, it's just different because it's just like taking its time to develop the world and develop our understanding of the political system, and it's really fascinating. And I mean, I just love the main character. She's adorable, and she just wants to be with her books. And it's really fascinating how throughout the show she's starting to have other ambitions besides just that. Even though that's her like main goal, she's starting to like, oh, I need to, I can't just sit in the library all day. I need to actually, work with my, coworkers, and for lack of a better term, I forget what they call it, but she's like a priest or whatever. She has underlings, I guess. But it's like, yeah, you need to actually spend time with these people and like be a part of the world. It really is like she has to learn to be in this world and make friends and actually, like connect with people, so that she ultimately can just sit and read. So yeah, I think it's a really fascinating concept. I'm really intrigued by the main priest guy and his whole story. We kind of started to get a little bit of that in the last season, but the gray robes, yeah, that's what it is. Her gray robed people that work for her. I don't know. And like, they're orphans, and yeah, it's great. Anyway, I just love that. Love that show. Okay. Jujutsu Kaisen. Shall we talk about Jujutsu Kaisen? Because I'm not watching it like the recent episode that just came out. I don't pay for Crunchyroll. I just pay for Funimation. So I have not seen the newest episode. But so I'm like a week behind. But I did watch that one from last week that I am now able to watch. So that was the one where what happened? They're fighting nature monster, and oh yeah, there's that really, really, really good shot where best friends are fighting him in the sky and stuff, and then they're falling. And all of that just happened. And then, yeah, what happened at the end of that episode? I'm trying to remember. They fell. I don't remember. What I really want is I want to go back to the really old guy, the director or whatever, and the fact that he has a guitar. Can we go back to that, please? I need to know what's going on with the guitar. Black Flash. That's it. That was the punch thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. He experienced the Flash punch. That was really, really cool. It was just a really good episode. It was a really good episode. That was a really good episode. So I enjoyed that immensely. And like the animation in Jujutsu Kaisen is just like, what is happening? It's so good. Like when they're in that episode, when they're running like along the roots and vines and things, and just like, it was just, it's so good. I just can't. I love it. I love it so much. I don't feel like I love it as much as some people, but like, I just feel like because it's so, I enjoy it. It just is, it follows a lot of the same typical, anime plot structure. And that's fine. And it does a good job of it. But yeah, I want to go back to the old man and the guitar and see what's up with that. Because that I'm sure is going to be entertaining. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see. I don't even know how many more episodes we have of Jujutsu Kaisen. It feels like it's been forever. We're on episode like 20 or something. So maybe it has 24 episodes. I have no idea. Like trying to make sure his head is not too small for his body, because that is a constant problem I have. Okay, what else am I watching this season? I already talked about Kimono Jihen. Oh, I just started Wonder Egg Priority, and that's been running, all season. And I've had it on my watch list for a while, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch one episode. And it's weird, really weird, in a good way, but in a weird way. And also, it's about bullying and suicide, and it's another rough one. So I definitely want to watch more of it, but also don't know if I'm gonna like binge it. And the main character is pretty fun and odd, and the animation is so good. It's another really, 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 really well animated show. So I'm excited to see how that goes. It is definitely a tough watch, just very intense and just weird. It's just weird. I'm just like, what is going on? It's like what is happening in this world? Feels very dreamlike. And she even says that. She's like, this is a dream for me in the episode that I watched. So that, watching Wonder Egg Priority. Just trying to think what's on my, I'm a little bit behind on Laid Back Camping. Gosh, I love that show. Going back to like chill, fun, just happiness, pure happiness. That's Laid Back Camping. Just enjoy the fun little adventures that this group of gals go on. So I really love that show. It's probably one of the best. I just love it so much. It's just cozy. Laid Back Camping is just a cozy anime. And maybe that's why I'm behind, is because I kind of save it for when I just really need a cozy anime. Anyways, why do you draw in Photoshop and not in SAI? Photoshop is just what I have on this laptop right now. I usually draw on my iPad in Procreate. So drawing on a computer and with my Wacom tablet is weird for me. And it's not something that I've done in a really long time. And Photoshop is just what I have right now. But if you recommend other programs, just let me know. Honestly, I'm thinking next year, because like, you know, Photoshop is like a monthly expense, but you like do a contract basically for the year. And Clip Studio Paint is just one purchase basically. So that would be nice. I mean, unless I just honestly, there are ways you can hook up your iPad to your computer. And honestly, that might just be better for me because I just use Procreate more. And then I don't have to pay for extra things anyway. I bought Photoshop originally just because I was like, I'm going to learn graphic design stuff. And then I didn't learn graphic design stuff. I mean, I still have time to do that, I suppose, but you know, you only have time for so much. And when there's so much anime to watch, I mean, my time kind of goes in certain directions. It's not like I have a podcast to edit every week or something. It's fine. I have all the time in the world. LOL. But yeah, if I knew more about tech, and maybe Nathan can help me with this, connecting your Procreate to the computer and doing streams like this is something you can do. I've seen it before, and I just don't know how to do it, because that would be my first and foremost ideal way to go about this. But yeah, I'm still experimenting with like live streaming at all and like what I want that to look like. And I kind of like this, honestly, just like something chill and working on something, you know, and just chatting. And it's calm and it's fine. We're just hanging out. Because those are the kind of streams I like, I guess. I mean, that's what I do in general. I just make the kind of content I would want to watch. Okay, so what else am I watching? I feel like we've gone over most things, but I feel like I'm missing something. I've completely stopped watching Jobless Reincarnation, although the animation is probably out of everything, literally even better than Jujutsu Kaisen, is the most beautiful thing I've seen all season. It's just another pervy isekai anime character, and I don't like him at all. It's very uncomfortable, and there's some very bad scenes that I was just like, okay, you've taken it too far. I'm done with you. Done with that show. Done. Boycott it. Don't watch it. Probably have some lightning port cables. Yes, sure. I just smile and nod. I will have to get some so that I can draw on my iPad. It's just a little easier to do that. Yeah, Nathan, thank you. You can help me figure it out. Man, I should probably make sure this is actually somewhat proportioned. It like feels kind of stiff. Also, I just made one leg thicker than the other. It is a pretty ambitious pose, but that's skateboarding. Manga's the best skateboarder. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something that I'm watching right now that I haven't talked about yet. Maybe I should just pull it up. I should just pull up my Funimation account and see. Let me see. What am I watching right now? The Promised Neverland. That's it. That's it. That's what I am missing. Guys. Oh man, The Promised Neverland. Also, no spoilers, I promise. Okay, first off, here's the truth. Season 2 is not as good as season 1. I still want to recommend people watch season 1 though, because it's just so brilliant. But as of right now, the show is still good, but it's not season 1 level of intensity. Like, it's still intense, and they're actually dealing with, I would argue, worse things. But what's so great about season 1 is it just feels more tight, because there's only so much there are only so many variables to their adventure, for lack of a better term. There's only so many variables to the world that they inhabit. And then now we've got so many more variables and so many more things going on. And it's just kind of like I don't know, as an audience member, things are just thrown at you. Like you don't have a foundation. Like in the Promised Neverland season 1, you kind of have to have a basic foundation of, oh yeah, this is how the world functions. Like you have a little more understanding of how the world functions, because for all intents and purposes, it functions very similar to our own. But now you don't know anything. The characters don't really know anything either, but like it feels a little more like things are just being thrown at you out of nowhere, than, oh yeah, this makes sense within me understanding the world. So just because the world is bigger now and there's more stuff going on, and so it just feels a little more chaotic. I know there's a lot of like discord about the Promised Neverland, like manga versus the anime, and I have not read the manga. So I'm not disappointed because I don't have any expectations. So I am really enjoying the season. I don't think it's as good as the first season, but I feel like that can happen a lot. And I'm still very, very, very attached to these characters, and want to. I just want them all to be sane. At this point, I'll just take if they're all alive and their sanity is intact. But I don't think either of those things are going to be going to be something that I can expect in the future. So yeah, that's another intense show. For all the crazy things that are happening, it's still not as intense as Attack on Titan. Although I would argue, both are basically about genocide. But yeah, so it's pretty intense anime season. The one thing I'm not watching this season that everyone is talking about because it's a big thing is Dr. Stone. I don't know if you guys are watching Dr. Stone. I'm not for any particular reason. I started watching the first season a while ago. Like, I think when the first season was coming out, I was watching a few episodes and I got pretty far. Basic premise is everyone gets turned to stone, and then like thousands and thousands of years pass, or even more than that. I don't even know. And so the world has kind of started over, like, in terms of science, basically. And so this kid reemerges from stone and is taking the world from 0 to 100 in terms of scientific advancements. And so he has to kind of help everyone figure out, how does electricity work? I mean, that's like later on. But I mean, it just starts out with like really basic inventions or like discoveries of just humanity. And it's what I like about it is like the idea that you can't have certain things without the other. Like, you have to invent, I don't know, so many things before you can invent something else. So like his ultimate dream is to be an astronaut, but like in this world that they now live in, he can't do that. So he has to like try to help humanity get to a point where he can go to space eventually, but also there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. You watched until the antagonist showed up and then it dipped out. Yeah. That antagonist is pretty intense. He like just wants to restart the world with just young people and wants to destroy all of the older people, which is frightening. Dr. Stone is a cool anime, but there really are some contradictions with science. I don't know enough about science to know. So to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, you can make that out of coconut. Great. But yeah, I'm sure it's not the best, most accurate. I mean, do we watch anime for its accuracy? Maybe not. But I can totally see how that could be something that like throws you out of the suspension of disbelief. Like, I feel like that kind of thing can throw me out. Like, I don't know, just in other areas. But for Dr. Stone, or for Skate the Infinity, for example, like clearly this is not how skateboarding works. But I will suspend my disbelief. For some things I can't though. So I could see how that would be a problem with Dr. Stone. It's interesting that you say that though, because like I feel like so many people are talking about how great Dr. Stone is with like, but it's teaching you, you know, like that whole like, you know, cells at work thing, like, oh, I'm learning something, even though I'm just watching TV. So maybe that's not as founded as people like to think that it is. But yeah, I want to go back and watch Dr. Stone at some point, but who knows, maybe I'll get bored again and stop. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? There are so many things that I need to watch. It's the constant dilemma. How does hair work? Especially when he's in the air. We just make it up. That's what art is. It's a secret. Art is just making stuff up. Pretending that it works. But yeah, I think out of everything I'm watching, there's a lot coming out this season. There's a lot of really good stuff this season. I still feel like Attack on Titan is the one I'm most excited for every week. Man, I don't even know what to say, because like it seriously is going in like a completely different direction than, you know, it used to be. I mean, you can say that about basically every season. Like well, it's so different now. Like, that's just what Attack on Titan is. But it is so different. I find it fascinating still, though, because I'm just like, what? I still don't care about any of the characters. There might be one new character from this season that I do actually care a little bit about. Like, I want to see what happens to this character. I mean, I'm interested to see how all the characters are developing, because that's the thing, is they're really, really developing and changing this season. But like, whew, it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. Attack on Titan is definitely an acquired taste. Nathan, enjoy your pizza. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and I say all the time, like, don't ever feel pressured to watch Attack on Titan, because it is very intense. And it took me 3 years to get past the first episode, because I was just not accustomed to that type of show, that type of gore. And it's pretty bonkers crazy. And so it's totally okay if you've not acquired that taste, or if you never will. Like, totally valid. It is not everyone's cup of tea. And quite honestly, sometimes I'm like, this is like, maybe probably bad, because now I'm just like too accustomed to this gore. But oh well, I've been ruined now. It definitely is a challenging show to get through, to stomach, I guess that's the word for it. It's just hard to stomach. And it doesn't get any better from the first episode. So if you can't get through the first episode of Attack on Titan, don't feel like it doesn't get better, really, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like for some shows, like Full Metal, if you get through the first 5 episodes, it's going to be okay. Like, it doesn't get any worse. Attack on Titan just gets worse. Just keeps getting bad. Yeah, I highly encourage people to watch The Promised Neverland. I would say, I mean, The Promised Neverland is still like a thriller drama, but it doesn't have the gore that Attack on Titan does. And it's really, really well written, the first season especially. As we just make up how the hair works. Sure, great, this is fine. Let's see, what else is going on in the animation? Avatar Studios. Guys. Nickelodeon is basically creating a whole other studio branch that the Avatar Last Airbender creators are helming, and they were going to make a whole bunch of new Avatar The Last Airbender content, and starting with a movie animated film. So lots to be excited for there. It totally makes more sense why they left the Netflix adaptation project. Because like they had mentioned that like, oh, well, we aren't having as much creative freedom with it and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm sure that also was like, oh, well, we're starting this other project and we don't have time for this one. And if only they can get Aaron Ehaus on the team, then it'll be the true ATLA group. But I kind of doubt that because he's busy with the Dragon Prince. So if anything, what's exciting is like, you know, it'll be a whole new studio, a whole bunch of new projects. And so we can hear other voices like telling Avatar The Last Airbender stories. And what I really want is like, I want to see the people who grew up on Avatar The Last Airbender, like I did, I want are you know, older now and they can, you know, they're in the industry, and I want to see those people creating Avatar: Last Airbender content. Like they're going to be the writers and storyboarders and designers that are working on these things, and I like can't wait to see that. So yeah, just to see new stuff. Like, yeah, we all love the Avatar: Last Airbender crew, but I want them to completely like move on, I guess, from the characters that we all love so much. I feel like Legend of Korra lacked because they still kept all of the old characters in the story, kind of like they had cameos and they were part of it. And I feel like the Legend of Korra would have fared better if they didn't bring in old characters at all. And so that's kind of what I want them to do with these new projects. Like just, you know, we all love Aang, we all love Zuko, but we don't need to talk about them all the time. Like, give us something new. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Really excited to see what all they do. I mean, I'm not going to put like super high hopes. I'm never going to assume that it's going to be whatever they make is going to be just as good as Avatar: Last Airbender, because to be quite honest, I don't think that's possible. But I'm excited to see what they do. So that's the big Avatar news. And the teaser trailer for Luca came out this past week, and it looks so fun. Oh my goodness. I am already in love with this movie, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not like, I try not to get my hopes up too high for things, but yeah, it looks just really charming, and I'm really excited for that. Although before Luca, we have Mariah and the Last Dragon. I'm very excited to see that this weekend. Probably see that Saturday at some point. I don't, that's another one I don't have high expectations for necessarily, but I am excited to see it regardless. I just don't have high expectations because I don't want to be disappointed. So I just am like, well, whatever happens, happens. And I might like it, I might not. And that is okay. All right, we talked a little bit about Raya Last Dragon last time I streamed, but basically it just feels like, oh, another 3D Disney princess movie. Doesn't seem very different in any way, at least seems like it'll probably follow similar formulas. So probably nothing too surprising, so I'm not getting my hopes up. But a fun, colorful, new adventure regardless, so. And gives me a reason to like go see a movie, which I will always take an excuse to go to the theater. I say that because our theaters around here are just very small and empty, so it's not like I'm concerned about COVID around here, because there won't be anybody in the theater. I feel like, here's what I feel is wrong. Well, maybe. I'm like, is his arm really that long? Am I getting both arms the right length? Like, I feel like his right arm is going to be like, because it's reaching down to the skateboard, that it's somehow, I made it super long because of that. No, maybe not. Maybe that is just how his arms are. I do like Longa's fun little Yeti monster that's on the underside of his skateboard. I just think it's so cute that Reki made this skateboard for Longa. It's so cute, and like adjusted it for him and his weird skating style, which is basically snowboarding. So we've got a lot of episodes coming up, actually. I mean, that's no surprise. We have episodes every week. But this week, Nathan and I talked about the Crunchyroll Anime Award winners and our thoughts on if we agree with the winners or not. And it's basically just an excuse for us to talk about all of our favorite anime because we really didn't have any qualms with who won for the most part. And so that's a really good episode. Like, it was really fun. So that'll be this week. I've already got it uploaded, edited, and uploaded and everything, which is always a good feeling because there are definitely weeks when I'm scrambling Monday night getting the episode uploaded. I think it helps that there wasn't too much to edit, really, because we did a pretty clean recording. Sometimes recordings are cleaner than others. And then I've already recorded with Bryn about Lilo and Stitch, which was voted on by the patrons over at patreon.com/fanimated. And so they voted on actually Meet the Robinsons and Lilo and Stitch. They both won, but instead of doing a tiebreaker, I was just like, well, let's just talk about both because I like both of them a lot. And then I release the podcast schedule to the patrons so they can see what's coming up. But those two are the ones coming up the soonest. And even in our discussion of the Crunchyroll Anime Award winners, I went back and rewatched some of My Next Life as a Villainess because I love that show so much. I think it's so funny. Wow, I'm telling you, this is really hard to do, to draw on here. And I just remember the days, because this was like, when I first started digital drawing, I did it with this Wacom tablet, and it would take me so long. And I was actually better at it then because I was used to it. And I still am so not used to this type of drawing. The iPad's so nice because you're just drawing straight on to the screen. And this is a little bit of a different talent that is weird to get used to. So I'm like having to try like a bajillion times to get one line right. I guess it doesn't help that I'm working with like a sketch kind of brush where I feel like I have to go back over the line to like darken it. Which I can't always do appropriately. In truth, I'm just over here still thinking about Attack on Titan, how bonkers it is. One of the best things about Attack on Titan is I just don't know where it's going. Like I can never predict it, and so I'm over here like thinking about it. I'm like, well, I can't predict what's going to happen, so who knows? All right, there we go. Look at that. Let's see if we can hide that layer. Yeah, you know, not too terrible. Something is still weird about his butt and legs. I've clearly darkened this a lot more than I did. The skateboard is darker than the rest of him. Gotta erase that line. Yeah, you know, not too terrible. Not too bad for still getting used to this. So there we go. That's it. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening. It was fun to just chill and talk about animation and anime and all the things we've been watching. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be streaming next, so just, you know, keep an eye out. But I do enjoy doing this, and maybe next time we can kind of finish up manga here and color them in and paint them in. So, because it's been fun. So I hope everyone has a good rest of their weekend, and, you know, we'll chat with you guys soon. Of course, in the meantime, stay tuned and stay animated. Bye, guys.